Hello, everyone. It is Black Red Guard again, wrapping up our reading and discussion of the Mass Work Guide produced by the Communist Party of the Philippines. So, today we are going to be discussing consolidation and expansion. So, along with mobilization. So, mobilizing the masses. This is especially relevant in terms of the fact that we seem to be getting ready for 4 or 8 more years of the Biden Harris regime in the belly of the beast, the United States of America. So it is highly important for all communists to realize that your liberal friends that snuck their way into their organizations, into your organizations rather, are going to go home. They're going to go back to brunch and being useless. But Lenin said that when the wave has ebbed, it should gladden us that there will be none left but true Marxists. So we true Marxists have to study mobilization, consolidation, and expansion. We have to be ready to fight this new regime in the streets because shit is not going to get any better despite what your liberal friends have told you. Okay? All this bullshit about pick your opposition, pick your enemy. I wish my ancestors had that luxury. We fought the enemies that presented themselves. New enemies are replaced by old enemies, and some of these enemies are right alongside us in the progressive revolutionary movement, what have you. So let's begin the reading. Part D, mobilizing the masses. What are mass actions and mass campaigns? A mass action is any planned collective mobilization of the masses for a definite objective. The most important mass action is the mass struggle or the planned collective confrontation of the masses against their enemies. Examples of such actions and mass struggles are worker strikes, confrontations of peasant masses against their landlords to lower the land rent, the organized support of the masses for the military operations of the People's Army, collective protests against their abusers, collective work in the field, and others. Mass campaigns are planned, organized, and persevering series of mass actions of a broad scope in order to achieve a set objective. There are different types of mass campaigns according to objective. There are mass political campaigns, military, organizational, education, economy, and health campaigns. Whatever mass campaign is launched, we need to make sure that its content and direction is in accordance with the line and orientation clarified in the first part of this study on mass work. In the countryside, what we must launch first and foremost are the mass campaigns which have an anti-feudal character and which advance the armed struggle. In the cities, what we must launch first and foremost are the mass campaigns which assert the democratic rights of the basic masses against fascism and bureaucrat capitalism, which advance the struggle of the working class against foreign imperialists and comprador big bourgeois, and which support the anti-feudal movement in the countryside and the armed struggle. There are mass campaigns which have a character of struggle for reforms. We recognize the importance of these mass campaigns in forming the unity of the masses. However, these campaigns must be launched in such a way as to highlight the revolutionary initiative of the masses and to draw them closer to supporting and participating in the revolutionary armed struggle. Likewise, it is important to mobilize the masses in contributing their different technical and material skills to the revolution, such as logistics and finance, technical know-how in livelihood, culture, personal skills, communications and transportation, health, and other facilities. Mass mobilizations, the actions, struggles, and campaigns that the masses participate in, are important. In reality, the advance of the revolutionary mass movement is centered on the mobilization. Efforts to arouse and organize the masses have the objective of preparing them to launch and advance the mass mobilizations. By having the masses participate in these actions, we develop them and they are able to achieve the following. A. They are given political experience and their political consciousness is raised in confrontations with their enemies. B. Their unity is tempered and confidence in their own strength and ability to resolve problems develops. And C. They achieve concrete development in their political, economic, and cultural conditions. 2. What must be done before launching mass actions and mass campaigns? A. Investigate well the problem that we would like to address or solve. Understand its nuances and the forces involved, and, in relation to this, be clear about its objectives. Draw up a concrete plan, set the appropriate means of mobilization and struggle, and prepare the organization. Ensure that the three principles guiding our actions are followed. 1. There is a just basis. 2. We have the upper hand. And 3. Act with self-restraint. B. Ensure that there is sufficient preparation for participation of the greatest number. The masses must understand and agree with the need of the planned action or struggle. In order for any action or struggle to be successful, the thinking of the masses must be prepared and their determination formed. C. Prepare the organization of the masses. It is difficult to succeed if this is loose or weak. Whether the plan is successful or suffers a setback, the organization of the masses must be prepared to persevere in unity and collective action. Prepare for retaliation from the enemy. D. Form and prepare the group that leads and sets the pace. This group takes the lead in conducting propaganda among the masses about the objectives and the means of mobilization or struggle. They take the lead in unifying the masses and preparing them and getting support from the middle forces. They observe the actual course of the mobilization or struggle and take the necessary steps in order to resolve the problems that arise. They will lead the advance of the mobilization until it is successful, or they will lead the organized retreat if unsuccessful. 3. What are the tasks after every mass action and mass struggle? After every mass action or mass struggle, whether it is successful or failure, whether the results are positive or negative, it is necessary to sum up experiences together with the masses, analyze the experiences of the masses and draw lessons from them for the party, and afterwards propagate the summed up experiences among the masses. In this matter, the meaning of their experience becomes clear to the party and the masses. They are able to grasp its lessons, to raise their political consciousness, and to develop their capacity to advance the revolutionary movement. The mass leaders are tested in these mass actions and mass struggles, and those who are enthusiastic and advanced among the masses emerge. After the mass actions and mass struggles, we must help those in leadership to sum up their experience and analyze their performance of the tasks. We must also pay attention to the newly emergent forces who are enthusiastic and advanced in carrying out the actions. We must encourage them to take further initiative and to participate more in the work. If necessary, those in leadership who have proven to be unreliable or not capable must be replaced by those who are more developed. So, essentially, what this section means, and this is probably the most important section of this piece, this means that you don't just organize a bunch of people to take over a highway. I heard that a few hundred people in Minneapolis were arrested last night trying to do that. Okay, why you would willfully lead people into a trap is beyond me, but we have to actually think about our mass mobilizations. We have to do as much research on the enemy that we are confronting as possible. We have to mobilize the greatest number of our supporters, of our organizational members, and of the masses themselves. We have to, as Amilcar Cabral said, tell no lies and claim no easy victories. Because I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the people know when you're lying to them. The people know when you're on bullshit. So it's important to not be on bullshit, but be honest. Tell the truth. If we succeed in something, we should propagate this among the people and get them addicted to winning. If we lose a campaign, as dialecticians, we realize that there is win and loss in everything. We cannot win all the time. Anybody that tells you that it is possible to win all the time because of an ideology or something is a charlatan, and you should not listen to them. when we lose, we have to be ready to acknowledge that we lost and acknowledge why and how we lost and how we're not going to lose next time. This is the essence of dialectical materialism and the essence of correctly guided Marxism, Leninism, Maoism. Part E, consolidation and expansion. What is meant by consolidation? Consolidation means the mobilization and the development of the consciousness and organization of the masses at each stage. The ongoing mass education campaigns are an important tool of consolidation in order to raise the level of consciousness, capacity, and experience of the masses. These education campaigns always prepare them to face new problems, which are a result of the heightened level of struggle or a retreat from the previous level. What is meant by expansion? Expansion means adding more places or groups to the scope of our mass work. It means opening up new places, sectors, and groups that we are able to reach and mobilize. In the countryside, we open up barrios and localities and we begin mass work in them. In the cities, we increase the factories, communities, and schools that we are able to reach and we begin mass work in them. First and foremost, we expand by forming coordinating groups and organizing groups of the people in the places where we are starting mass work. What is the relationship of consolidation and expansion? We conduct our expansion based on consolidation, and we consolidate while conducting expansion. Expansion with consolidation is the effective way of rooting the revolutionary movement on a wide scale. Even though we are already mobilizing in new places, we must ensure the continuous development of previous areas of mobilization. So basically, when you organize, you have to be sure to develop the people that you are bringing into the revolutionary movement. You can't just let them float off into the ether, because when you do that, that's when bad tendencies arise. So this is going to wrap up my reading of the mass work document. I skipped some things that are not relevant to the revolutionary movement in the United States, and I highlighted and read from pieces and portions that are relevant to our situation right now. So this is a very good piece. You should study it collectively and, most importantly, apply it. I'm Black Redguard.